Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so if I'm going to record it, then let me pin myself so you guys won't be implicated. So when we are born, we come like we have our original template as a human body, and we have our own original template. And then we have the templates from each of our parents, so our lineage, whatever their experiences, emotional or physical, I would say like illness, let's say a tendency for heart issues or a tendency for some other issues. So those tendencies would all be kind of coded in our DNA as well, and in our template. So, however, when we were young, it's like because we just here, we just arrived. So our template, even though it may have the all the other influences in it, but it hasn't been. So those influence from our lineage is just possibilities. And there's nothing called a genetic disease. It's everything is just possibilities until we come here, and when our body actually emerge into this reality, then the body start to be influenced by the energies in our environment. So when we're young, our original template is still very strong. However, over time, as we live life, as we interact with our environments, with other people, all that, sometimes, most of the times, we actually either have emotional traumas or physical traumas, combination of that, or even environmental traumas, all of those things, they start to impact our body. So what the body does is it has a normal function. So normally this is how the body works. But when you have a trauma, whether emotional or physical, it impacts how the body's normal function is. So when you have the first trauma, the body would say, okay, normally I need to, go, let's say, go this route. But because there's a trauma, so I can't go in my normal preferred route. I have to reroute in order to support the body, because the body's prime directive is really to heal, to make sure that our brain and our heart. So if you look at our physiology, you look at how the brain, all the gray matter is actually encased in the skull. So it's very protected. So you know that part of your body is actually important. And then you have all these your ribs is actually protecting your heart. So the heart is important. Whereas other things like hands, um, the flesh is there's like a layer of flesh in around your bones. However, when you come to the head and the heart, it is really the bones that is protecting certain organs. So you know that the body's just from your own physiology, you know that the body is really protecting. The prime directive of the body is to protect the brain and protect the heart, these two things. But because of traumas, that could be big traumas, could be small traumas, emotional or physical, it actually starts to, every time there is a trauma, it has to reroute. So, and because we live in very stressful times, the past couple of years, we collectively, we went through a big trauma, because not like pretty much everybody that's alive, it was affected. So not just one or two people. Like when everyone go through this like a similar trauma, not that it's all the same, but similar trauma, then it kind of impacts. It actually made it worse, because if only one country was affected, then we can get help from other countries. But when like pretty much every country was affected in their own way, then you don't really have as much resource from outside to help. So that's kind of rather a traumatic experience. So when we go into trauma, the body, trauma is not normal. So when we go into trauma, the body actually, it takes the body out of normal functioning, and it has to still do two things: protect the brain and protect the heart. But anything else that is not the brain or nor the heart, the energies have been directed or redirected in order for us to handle the trauma, whether we consciously realize that we are in a trauma mode or not. That's what our body has been doing for the past 2-3 years. I think it's just maybe from late last year to this year that things has been eased up. So we kind of more back to normal. That is consciously back to normal. But it really depends on how you have supported yourself or not. Because some people, they are still in trauma. The body does not recognize that we are out yet. So that's why a lot of the times when I do like the meditation and all that, I really emphasize on deep breaths, taking deep breaths, because when you take deep breaths, it actually sends a message to your body that, okay, we don't have to fight or flight anymore. We can actually relax. We can go back to normal, or as normal as we can. So that is the trauma response. So because we have been, once you get to a certain age, or maybe not really so much the age, but it's more the mileage. So once, I think it's about 40%. So once you have taken your body, like reroute, if you reroute more than 40% of your normal body function, then your body cannot be functioning normal anymore. It's harder for your body to actually get back to what normal is supposed to look like. Because when you do so many reroutes, your body may forget what normal looks like. So so there is something called a pelvic adaptation. So how do I explain that? A lot of people, when you look at them, you can even feel, yes, even when yourself. Like I know that part of my spine is it's not noticeable. Like when you look at me, you may not be able to grasp that. I have a slight torsion in my spine, but it's there because when I go to chiropractor, they told me they noticed that my spine there's a slight twisting, and a lot of people have it. The reason why is because of the fight or flight response, because for women, I think actually for men as well, because of our physiology, is we have so the pelvis, like attached to our pelvis, there are two major muscles. That's called the psoas muscle. So it's like the psoas muscle is from the pelvis through the stomach and to the diaphragm. And the diaphragm is very important in regulating our heart. So when we are in fight or flight mode, we actually divert a lot of our hormones, blood supply, all of that to different places. So it actually stresses the heart out. So that's when physiologically we need to, in order to support the heart, we contract those psoas muscles and the diaphragm so that and so it kind of pushes up to our heart, so our heart can actually pump blood. It's easier for the heart to pump blood. I know it's a little too technical, so I'm just gonna say this once. So our body goes through a set of response in order to protect the heart, because the heart and the brain, those are the two important organs, prime directive of keeping us alive. Because as long as we are still alive, we can still make changes. We can still heal ourselves. We can still do things to make our lives better. So when those psoas muscle contracts, it starts to it depends on whether you are a female or a male. So for the female, because we have something called a reproductive system that actually is, for the woman, is responsible for continuation of the human species. So we actually have a lot more going on in terms of regulating. So it's not just the heart and the brain, it's also make sure that we can still do the function of making sure that there are new generations coming. So what I've learned from, it's something called the pelvic adaptation pattern, is really to do with the fight or flight response.
Yeah, I was just trying to get the small, those little candles.
Okay. Okay. So so what that is really to start to relax your muscles, the psoas muscles, and then to open up the diaphragm, so that your body can go back to normal. So that's what I thought of doing for everybody tonight, is to just get into our collective pattern here for the people here, and start to do a release of that. Questions, comments so far?
It is very interesting, and I think it's nice to learn. And you're right, because when even I had the accident, that's the time I felt. It was in I think 2004, or yeah, something like that. So I remember, like, my heart was protected and my brain was protected. So I see the energy going here. The rest I didn't know, and it was working until I see somebody. I know this somebody's going to take care of me. Then I just really blanked out.
Then you can let go.
Yes, then I let it go.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that probably that's maybe something that's really understated and under observed, is really that, yeah, we are probably all of us under trauma, have experienced trauma, and don't really recognize it or know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because it's it's such a unique experience for everybody. And it doesn't seem to be ending.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
it doesn't seem to be ending. I know. It's like yeah. Now that
like
we've
events, world events keep occurring that
keep
keep stoking
occurring.
up, keep stoking up our emotions, sort of.
Mhm.
Yeah. So thanks for recognizing that and addressing it.
Yeah, I know, especially, I don't usually follow, like I don't have a TV, and I usually excuse me, I usually did not follow what's going on in the world. And I think it was I met up with Lei Ping and Lucy on Monday. That's when they tell me that, oh, okay, that's what's happening in the Gaza Strip. So
Yeah.
that's when I know.
Yeah.
So
That's fairly recent. Yeah.
I know that's fairly recent, but the reason I knew is because we were walking at one point on Monday. We were actually walking along Young Street, and there were these people, Palestinians, were just actually protesting. So that's when I thought, okay, what the heck is going on? And then when I started looking into it, it's like, oh, okay, they are trying to start another war. So
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The
yeah,
last
so
one didn't
I
take.
know that they've been trying very hard, like energetically. When I tune into it, oh, that's what they are trying to do. It's like, and so yeah, and
And maybe even delay an election.
yeah, who knows? There are so many agendas going on. So yeah.
Yeah.
Are they gonna continue with vaccine? You said the trauma, we didn't finish with that experience.
Okay. So I'm not going to tell you what is or what may or may not happen. I just want to let you know that you can stop it. Like, you can stop it. Like, it's not up to me. It's not up to anyone. It's up to you. Like, I can say yes or no, but it's really up to you. Because we have that option now. We are actually very powerful people. Each and every one of us, very powerful. We can say no.
Okay.
Yep,
Right
we
on.
can say no. You can say no, like we can say no to the war as well. That's why the war just haven't been able to start. It's because enough people have said no energetically to it. That's why they've been trying and trying, and it's not coming about. So we are not chopped liver. We are not nobody. We're actually powerful beings. So all you have to do is, you don't have to judge. You don't have to say, you bad people. No, you just check, just go within and just say, is this the experience that I want? If it's not, then just say no. Like, there is nobody that's going to come around and take your vote. You are the one that can actually just go within your heart and give your vote, yes or no. And there is no right or wrong answer. It is your own choice.
I would say no.
I would too.
But you have to understand one thing too. You can only choose for yourself. You can't choose for anyone else. Because I'm quite sure there are other people who definitely want that wall. And I totally understand why these things have to happen now. It's because collectively, we are trying to let go of the past, and you can't let go of the past until you actually look at it. So that's why, you know, like what's happening in the world stage right now, everything has been like, it's the same similar stories that's been going on for at least 1 or 2 generations. These are not new quarrels, not new wars. They are simply just, you know, grievances that have not been looked at and resolved satisfactorily. So that's why these things have to come up now so that we can work through it.
And I think they really try to use our emotions to hook us into things by the images they present and the, you know, they're pulling on our heartstrings and all this kind of stuff. And of course, yes, it does, because it's, I mean, violence is going to do that. But I think if we're not certain whether it's true or not, maybe it's better to be an observer rather than somebody that's already sort of sucked in. Anyway, that's what I'm doing this time. I'm just going to be an observer. I'm just going to observe. No emotional involvement. I'm trying to just hold, like, just stay out of it.
Good for you.
Yeah. I'm taking a stand here.
Okie dokie. Okay, so any other comments, questions?
I think when we really look at the trauma, I think we go through, it doesn't have to be a big, like giving a child birth or seeing some horrible things. We do go through the trauma because probably in one life, because we had so many lives, probably we were there, gone through the similar things, and probably that energy kicks in and makes us more really into a different state, energy wise. So this is really good. So if you can clear the trauma and the body can relax, and then we can go a little further. That's what I think.
Yeah, of course. Of course. That's why we have this period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Is really for us to like if you really look at the last couple of years, we have been actually given a lot of time, a lot more time than usual to reflect on what's important in our lives. Because, well, we couldn't go anywhere else, so what else can we do? We can't go out, so we have to look in. So actually, that was the gift for I would say one of the gifts for the last couple of years, is it actually gave us a lot more time to look inward. Should we choose to? Not, I mean, like some people would do anything but look inward. So that's their choice. However, the environment actually gave us that, and energetically, I don't know if you can feel it, but the last couple of days, like the last week, let's say the whole week, the energy was so high I couldn't sleep. Like I flip flop. So either the energy was so high I couldn't wake up, and then it will flip into, okay, the energy is so high I couldn't sleep. I think it was maybe let's see, Sunday, like Saturday and Sunday, both days I was like, I cannot sleep. I tried. I was in bed. Everything prepared, but I couldn't sleep. And the energy was just flowing in, and and Jason Estes was just confirming that we actually have had a bump of like energetically we like up about 400,000 data points. That's a lot, and I believe him too, because I could feel it. I could feel the energy was getting to the point where there's so many thoughts going through my mind all at once. Like it came to a point where, okay, I can't think anymore. I'm just going to be rather than to, you know, try to analyze anything. Is okay, I cannot look at each of those thoughts, because if I look at them, I would miss something. So I just actually have to allow it to come in and go out, and whichever whatever the thoughts that actually resonate with me, those are the ones that would actually stick around, and the rest just go. So
I found that if I stayed still too long, that I would be like daydreaming, like dreaming, awake dreaming. And then time would go away, and then it's like, oh, where did that time go? You know? But I was dreaming. So it was really strange.
yeah, it has been this very strange couple of days, because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so much energy was coming through our body. And I actually have to drink water now. Like I hate drinking just plain water. Like I will always put something in it, whether I make tea with it or I actually put some honey in it. But now, like, I have to just stick with water, because I don't want to put more stuff for my body to process. So just water, plain water. So
Is it going to continue to be these spikes ongoing? Yeah.
yep, we
Okay.
you have to understand that we are actually going through ascension window, meaning that so I talked about this for 2 months since September 18th. So we are almost going to be the first month of ascension window, meaning that the energy is going to be so intense that if we wish to, we can actually get to the point where we clear ourselves so much that we can actually go up to a different level of ourselves. So we are in this ascension windows. We still have another month and a bit where the energy is so high that this is how the energy is going to support us. Not that the energy is going to drop down afterwards. It's just not going to increase so fast. But at least for the rest of this year, the energy is going to be pretty intense. There's no slowing down.
Is this affecting other people, like older people? Like my neighbor, just recently, 3 days in a row, she fell. She fell 3 days in a row. And the doctor said, oh, you had COVID. But I was wondering if the energy hadn't affected her. That's what I was thinking.
The energy, it's for everyone. It's not just for one person or people in Toronto. It's everywhere.
Yeah, and she's older. She's in her 80s. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why, like, be very gentle with your body. Really listen to your body. Whatever it is that your body needs, check in with your body. You know, what do you want to eat? Don't try to just eat like normal. This is not normal time. So check in with your body. Like if your body, like I go through periods where my body don't want like there are periods where I don't want to eat meat, and then there are periods where I only want to eat meat. Give me the meat, please. I don't care. I don't care what they say about eating meat, but and then there are times where I just want a salad, just I don't want anything else. So just your body actually knows what it needs. And when you support your body, you actually allow because when there's so much energy going through your body, your body actually needs extra energy to process everything.
Mm.
So support your body.
Mhm.
Okay. What else? That's it? Okay. Then let's go to the let's go do the resetting of that. Okay, so I'm gonna stop and start another